There we go. Okay. So we were both on stage at Thrivepalooza in 2018. Back then, I had no idea really like what this, what this business was really all about. I was just kind of like passion and ignorance on fire. And but that's how we met. And so I have, of course, I followed her for the past 5, 6 years now, and just what she has done in her business. I mean, if you guys know, like she's just, it's just insane what she's done. It's like another level of like what you could like ever imagine. And so anyways, I'm so thankful that you were willing to do this with my team tonight, because if I'm busy, I cannot even freaking imagine like how busy you are. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. And I'm just going to keep admitting people from waiting room. But Kourtney, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where you started.
Okay, so my name is Kourtney Glaser. I've been here for 6 years, and I found this, it's crazy. Like, I was a principal, and if you ever are bored, you can Google my name. I got fired. Like, I really wish I was friends with Brittany and Deanna back then, because I know they would have like gone to war for me. But I stood up for myself in a situation where most people wouldn't have stood up for themselves. And I knew by doing that that I was literally like, it was career suicide, because you don't stand up for yourself in public education. And I stood up for myself. I knew it was career suicide. And I got really depressed after that. And I opened a daycare up in my home, because that's all I knew was just to take care of kids. Well, it was like 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids. Before I knew it, I had 12 kids in my daycare from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. I was licensed by the state, which means that they could come knock on my door any time of day. They're ran by CPS, and they go through every inch of your house, your drawers, under your bed, everything. So I went from stressful to very, very, very stressful, but I was so like burned from what happened to me that I didn't want to go get a job. And I had a little one at home. And so I thought, well, she can just be in my daycare and I'll just run this daycare. Um, I found network marketing during this time, and that was a different company. I was with them, things were okay. And I caught this vision of what network marketing was. And I'm like, okay, I really think that I could become a millionaire with this. Like, I really think that if I really loved what I was doing and I loved the products, like I saw the potential. Well, I was spinning my wheels in my last company, and I need to be very clear. I'm not talking about the people that whine and bitch and say they're spinning their wheels. I'm just a very blunt person. You have feelings, don't bring them tonight. I was enrolling like 28 people and not getting paid on it, because that's how the comp plan was set up there. Like, the month I left, I had brought in 28 business partners. So some people will say, well, I'm spinning my wheels. And I'm like, no, I know what spinning your wheels is. Spinning your wheels is you are actually making progress and going nowhere. Spinning your wheels by thinking you are doing something productive, those are two completely different things. So I got on a call with a guy that I saw online, and I was like, I'm just going to see about this Thrive thing. Okay. I go upstairs. My daycare assistant is like, just go ask. It never hurts to ask. I got on a Zoom with him and I said, don't bullshit me. I have 30 questions. I'm not interested in you sweet talking me or like trying to sugarcoat anything. I have questions. I need yes or no answers, and then I'll make a decision. And I had very blunt questions like, how much does it cost to get started? How much are the products? When do you get paid? How do you get your products for free? Are there monthly fees? And I was just like firing them off. And every question he answered the way that I would have wanted him to answer. I came downstairs. I told my assistant, I said, I'm leaving where I was. And I was making like $8,000 to $9,000 a month where I was, but I knew there was something bigger out there. And so my husband came home and I was like, I'm leaving It Works. That's where I was. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to this company called Thrive. I found this sponsor. He lives in Indiana, and I just see the vision, and I've already ordered my products, and I'm canceling my account. And he's like, okay, and I did it. So I wanted out of my daycare so freaking bad. I really cannot express to you how bad I needed out of that situation. If you've ever run a daycare or worked at a daycare, like comment below for me. I ran it out of my house. So from the time my eyes opened till the time my eyes shut, I was at work. So I had kids being dropped off. I had 6 kids in diapers. And then I had my own children who were mixed in with that couldn't go upstairs to their room because there was all these rules and regulations. And it was absolute hell. Like it was, I mean, and I feel bad because I loved the parents and loved the kids, but I literally felt like if I don't get out of this situation, I'm going to end up in jail because I don't like it anymore. I have no life. My house smelled like a nursing home from poopy diapers to wipes. And so a lot of people will ask me, well, like whenever you found this, how did you take off so fast? Because I hated my fucking life. I hated what I was doing every single day. And this was like, whoa. I could see the light bulb start to go off of how many people loved Thrive, of how it made me feel. I started getting my own results really fast, and that was it. That's all it took was a glimpse of hope. And to be very, very, very uncomfortable in my circumstance. A lot of people are uncomfortable in their circumstance, but they're more comfortable being uncomfortable that way than actually growing. And so I get asked this question over and over and over. What did you do? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it other than it was like a dog that was after a steak. I did whatever the fuck it took every single day, whether it was posting on my social media, talking on my stories, doing opportunity live events, doing like giveaways for my team. I was just all in and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just knew I needed this so freaking bad to work for me. This was it. This was it. I had lost my job publicly. It was on the news. Like you couldn't embarrass me anymore. Like I had lost everything. This was it. And so I'm going to go a little bit more into my story. That was in 2017. We hit the top of the company in 6 months. We hit it again on my husband's account a few months later. And I had a team by conference whenever I met Brittany doing $750,000 a month in sales. I thought my shit did not stink. I went from wiping asses to you can't fucking touch me. And I was a bitch. I was drunk all the time. I was an alcoholic. And I've been sober now for almost 5 years. And I was a hot mess express. I told Britt today, I didn't save. I paid off some credit cards, but I didn't save or invest one penny my first $1 million that I made. I got successful so fast I didn't even know what to do with it. And it really was from my mentality of I want a different life and I'm just gonna go freaking get it, whatever it takes. So come that October, Paul had said some things a few times like, if you could just like don't drink for 90 days. And I would laugh and my upline would laugh because like if you knew us, like we were drunk and we were spending thousands of dollars. And every Tuesday it was like, what are you gonna flex with this Tuesday? And it was so toxic. So I remember going to a conference that December. I had gotten this feeling that my upline was leaving and I had gotten it in the pit of my stomach. People told me I was crazy. My husband told me I was paranoid. And I'm like, no, like when I know something in my soul, I know it. So I go to this conference, I take some of my team, and story after story, two things happened at that conference. I realized how big the industry was because there was companies. Imagine being in a room full of car dealers and like they're like, oh yeah, we have this car coming out, and you're like, I've never even heard of that brand. That's how mind blown I was in that stadium because I was like, I've never even heard of the majority of these network marketing companies. Holy shit, this is an actual profession. Like I've been fucking around and playing small and not taking this seriously. Like this is an actual profession. These are professionals. And I'd hear this person talk and this person talk, and the story that rang in my ear over and over and over and over was, I got sober through network marketing. I got sober. I stopped drinking. And I thought, dude, like I'm an alcoholic and I am a horrible example for my team. By that time, I had lost rank. I had this gut feeling that my upline was leaving. And I thought, today's the last day I'm going to drink. And it was the last day that I drank. I flew home. And within a few days, my upline, this is very important for you to know. My upline had posted in my team page that he was doing one-on-one calls with people. And this is how they would go. Oh, Britt, talk to me about your business. Well, it's good. I'm struggling because duh, it's December, right? Like if you haven't been here, Decembers are not going to be your highest paying month. They may not suck, but they're not going to be your highest paying month out of the 12 months. They're just typically they're not. And I didn't know that really back then. It was my last month of earning this big bonus, but I just had this feeling that I needed to stay put and that he was going to do something very horrible. So we got my team on calls, and Brittany would say something along the lines of, well, God, business is just slow. And he'd go, I know. Look, I didn't want to be like the one to tell you. I really wanted to try to help you stick it out, but I'm leaving. And can I show you my new opportunity? And he did that over and over and over to my entire team because everyone thought he was so cool and they wanted to get on a Zoom with him. And before I knew it, my team was gone. And in that moment, a side sister called me and said, yeah, but Brandy, I don't even have no hurt feelings anymore, no anger, no animosity, because who is laughing 6 years later is me.
Amen.
So I told my husband in that moment, I said, Lavelle works. These products are amazing. I will go be a greeter at a grocery store. Before that, motherfucker makes another penny off my hustle ever again. I will not going anywhere. And I will make him regret the day he ever walked away from me as a business partner, because he had me and he had another millionaire that's still with the company, and we were top line to him. So he literally was kicking his feet up, making 30 grand a week, doing absolutely nothing. So in that moment, I was an 80K. I was making like maybe $1,200 a week, which is great money, but you have to understand that whole year before I was making like $20,000 a week. So it was a huge reality check for me. And I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to stop drinking. I don't know for how long. And I deserve this. And in my head, I just kept envisioning him seeing on social media, Kourtney Glaser hits the Millionaires Club. And like at this point, I hadn't made $1 million. I had made like maybe 300,000 maybe. And I would introduce myself and I'd say, I'm Kourtney, I'm a future millionaire with Thrive. And people were like, oh, are you super close? And I'm like, closer than I was last Tuesday, because I got so crystal clear on not just going to the top, but staying at the top and being successful at the top and growing other leaders. In that moment, it was no longer about me anymore. It was no longer about my story. It was about, I am here for a reason to make an impact on these other humans. I don't need an upline. He left, his sponsor left, her sponsor left, his sponsor left. So 5 people left. Okay. I've never gotten placement since then. I've never gotten $20 in credit since then. I've never gotten oh, you're going for a repeat bonus. I'm going to help you because we're both going to make money off of it since then, ever. I don't give a shit. Like, that's something that I feel like has really made me the person I am, and why I've been so successful is because if it was going to be, it was up to me. And that was it. Maria is pretty much the next person I roll up to, which is like so many levels deep. She is not calling me going, do you want to do promoter for promoter? I respect her for that, right? Like I absolutely adore Maria. I can call her anytime, any day, but I don't have that person, that sponsor that's like rolling out credits and doing those things like I do for my team. I also realize if I don't have it, I better go be it if I want this to work. If I don't have it, I better go be it for my team. So you may be on here and you may roll up to Britt, but you may not have a sponsor, or your sponsor may be collecting a paycheck, or who cares? Literally, like who cares? That is irrelevant to your paycheck. Does it make you salty? That's up to you. Does it make you resentful? If you let it. There are 2 people in between me and Maria who have become millionaires. And if I told you who they were, you probably wouldn't know their names. I don't care. I don't care that they don't do anything for my teams. I don't care that they don't high five me. Those things are irrelevant to my success and my family eating on Tuesday. If it's going to be, it's up to me, and I've got to go and do the work. So that's just my whole soapbox about a sponsor. And I'll tell you what, my paychecks, they don't look like I have placement because I don't. They look really nice because I'm going to tell you, somebody who has a lot of placement that gets to the top, their paychecks will not look anything like they could.
Right.
So I will tell you, there are days where I'm like, man, I wish I had someone to invite me to a retreat. And then I go book one for my team. If you don't have it, be it. Period. If you don't have it, go be it. I'm going to go over these questions that you sent me, Britt, because I already told you I can talk all night. How do I pitch the opportunity to other leaders in the industry? How do you identify the ones worth pitching? I don't pitch this opportunity to anybody who does not message me. I do not message people first. I do not. I will not. Why? Because Louis Vuitton is not calling me saying, hey girl, are you going to come in and go shopping this week? I know what I have my hands on. I lead with confidence, and there is confidence in my content. There is confidence in my conversations, but I'm not pitching this business per se in people's inboxes. If someone comes to me and they are saying, hey, I'm with so-and-so, I'm thinking about switching to Lavelle. Is it better? I always say, respectfully, I'm not going to talk about your company because I'm not there, so I really don't know. I'm going to talk to you about Lavelle. And I tell them what I love about Lavelle, and that's it. And I basically have the mentality of, and I will straight up tell top leaders this whenever they're in my inbox. I'm like, look, I love you. If you come with me, that's great, but I'm still going to make my next $1 million, whether you come with me or not. And that's my mentality. Whether they come or not is irrelevant. I know I still have more lives to change, even if they did jump on board and bring 1 million people with them. It doesn't matter. My job is not done. My mission's not over. Identify the ones worth pitching to. So I'll tell you kind of this. I know who's worth talking to whenever I ask them, like, are you serious about this? I am a no bullshit person. I do not have time to dance back and forth. This is a multi-million-dollar business that I run. I need you to understand that there are a lot of women and men in our company that make more than brain surgeons. Do you think they're, hell, well, no, I know what I have my hands on. I'm confident that this is the most lucrative profession I will ever be in because I do not have the skills of an NFL player and I can't sing. Okay. So short of becoming a pop star or a football player, I don't know anyone that makes more money. Okay. So I'm going to carry myself like I'm doing something important and like I am doing something impactful, not like I'm like, well, have you ever heard of like, Pampered Chef? Or that's how I used to introduce network marketing. Like, what the hell? Do I have a waiting room strategy? Yes and no. I always want to double my waiting room. So I like to roll out my waiting room to people who are focused and to people that I can trust and to people that I am building with. Okay. And I will say to them, hey, I have a promoter up for grabs. Match me in the next 24 hours. It's always limited with time and amount. And I'll say, and you get that placement. Okay. That is not open to my whole team. I know who is all in. I know who is showing up. I know who is undeniably hungry. Yes, Britt.
So I just want to ask you real quick. So with the waiting room, do you only focus on building personals, or how deep do you go?
I only go about 4 levels deep, and no, I will place with people other than my personals because if it's someone under one of my personals, it's going to help them too. And I'm just being honest, I have a shit ton of personals. So like I just put a group of girls in a chat right now. I know they're close to re-ranking. And so like I put a personal and some of her personals in there because if one of them gets it, everybody wins.
Right.
So that's how I do it. I have never been the type of leader that only works with my personals. I am sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone or ruffle any feathers, but y'all, I've made a lot of fucking money here by not doing that. I will never be that leader that does a retreat for just my personals, a chat for just my personals, unless it's like a rank, unless it's like a bonus run that I'm running for, where literally we only get matched on our personals. But I mean, I still help other people, but I would never be like, I'm only going to work with my personals. Why? Because some of my best people weren't personally enrolled to me. And I'm going to help anyone. I have girls on my level 16 that win a Louis Vuitton for me. Okay, well, that person that they can press up to, that's all in, that is my personal, it pays off. Like your success flows up upwards. So that's super important to me. It always has been. And I I know you make more money when your personals are winning, but I also don't think you should ever exclude people that you are lucky enough to get because one of your personals enrolled somebody. That's my 2 cents. I will always be that person. And placement just changes. Like sometimes I just know. Sometimes I know I'm gonna place with this person. Like we're running, they're enrolling their ass off. It just depends. It depends. Right now I have one girl in my waiting room. She hasn't taken off yet, which is fine. I know these 4 people are close to closing their rank. I'm not going to roll it out to somebody $10,000 away from their rank. It would absolutely make no sense. I'm going to roll it out to someone that's less than like, $900 away because she has $300 in volume. And my goal is to always take a promoter in my waiting room and make someone match me because I'm going to turn 1 into 2. Some months I have $15,000 in my waiting room. This month I have 300. Yes, I place every single person that comes into my organization. I only have 4 people on my top line, and you get a co-sponsor. And I'm very blunt about that. You get a co-sponsor, and sometimes I'll even let them have input. It just depends on the situation. Like it really just depends on the situation. But I only have 4 people on my top line, and unless the comp plan changes, I will never keep anyone on my top line because I made 2.5 years ago $249,000 just off of check matching by building 4 Ks. That was
Wait,
just
249,000 from building 4Ks?
4 Ks. Paul said, you lost your rank. What are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to build as many fucking 4Ks as I possibly can. And that year I made $249,000 just on that line item of pay. I didn't focus on my rank. I just focused on 4Ks. By co-sponsor, I mean like, hey, Britt, so, I'm super busy. I have a super large team. I will always be your number one go-to. But in the event that I am traveling abroad and my time zone is super jacked up, or you have a question that maybe you can't ask me because I don't know the answer to, I place every single person that comes into my organization. I want your input on a co-sponsor. And I'll give them someone to choose from, but I'll also try to make those people earn it. And we just make magic happen that way. And then, like, let's say it was Danny, I would say, hey, Danny, this is Britt. The 3 of us are going to work together. Britt, you have another layer of support. If Danny rolls out credits, if Danny's looking at doing giveaways or retreats or whatever, you now have 2 superstar leaders that you can count on that are reliable, and you're going to see our faces all of the time. It doesn't take away any of the way I work with you. It just adds another person that you get love and support from. Everyone's ecstatic. They're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Another, person. That's what I call a co-sponsor.
Hey, Kourtney. So with your top line, your top 4, when you are placing someone with them, and let's say it's someone that's like, that they're gonna just rock it out. If there's ever like, do you have some sort of agreement with those 4 people? Like, hey, if I have this person and they're killing it, and I place them on your team, like, are they expected to place under your personals if there was a time that you needed it?
So the thing is about my team is we all operate the same. So I've duplicated exactly what I do. So it's never been a question.
Okay.
Like if Susie's running and she's a grand away from 12K, I already know the culture I've created. If I placed her under Q, I've already probably done that for Q in a sense. And so Q is like, okay, now it's rally time for Susie. So it's kind of just an understood thing that we all help each other. Now, I wouldn't be like, okay, Q's yours, you better go build her. But if we pull reps close to rank reports at the end of the month constantly. And it's just I don't even want to say an expectation. It's just our culture is that if I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I'm going to still be building with Q. And, if you have someone to place, now there are times where I'm like, hey, this girl's close to this. Do you have anything in your waiting room? If you don't, and they're like, no, I don't. And I'm like, cool, no biggie. Or they're like, yeah, but my husband needs this for the auto bonus. Cool. I don't like have like that demand. It's just more of a, we build teams. We pop ranks. That's why you see my team pop so many fucking ranks, is because we all are like let's just say Britt's under Danny and Q's under Britt. Me, Britt, Danny, we're waking up every single day with Q chasing her rank with her, because that helps all of us rank. So it's just very much that there's a vested interest in placed people's promotions.
Okay.
It's the best way I can answer that one. Okay. How important is upline support in building your business? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think it matters at all. I wish I had a sponsor, but you know what? I high five my own damn self. That's all I can do. I have called Jason crying once, and he's like, "Who do you go to?" And I was like, "Jason, like, I don't have anyone." And I mean, I have Maria, but like, I have like so much respect for Maria. Please do not misunderstand that. But Maria has her own empire, right? Like, I don't ever think I'm too little for Maria to help, but Maria's not running Kourtney's numbers. Like, she don't have to. You know what I mean? I know any given day, if I am really having a crisis, I absolutely can call Maria. But my side sisters, that's who I love to brainstorm with and do stuff with. That's who I learned from. And I mean, honestly, like, let's just go ahead and say it, Q, because I can see it on your face. I mean, Q saved my business before. It was a cold day in December, and Q texted me and said, what are you doing? Call me now. Shut up, Tommy. Go away. FaceTime me now. And I was like, okay. And I was going through it. And I'm not going to go into that because it's embarrassing. But I was going through it. And Q's like, I don't know why, but I just looked up and God said, you need to call Kourtney Glaser. Something's wrong. And I was like, I just started bawling.
You weren't on your capsules.
Goodbye, Tommy. Goodbye, Tommy. And so I just like unloaded on her as a friend, and not like trying to be negative, because I'd always been her strong friend, like when she was going through it. And Q and Tommy saved my business in December. They were like, you're fucking crazy. My husband couldn't even get through to me. And so it's really important to have those really strong side sister friendships that like you don't you benefit from, but not monetarily, because they will tell you when your shit stinks and they will help you get back on track. Danny's another person that I called I think it was around conference, and I was like, Danny, listen, because Danny has always been like someone I've really looked up to, and I'm like, how did you do this? Like, how did you have boundaries? And I think you just have to be afraid not to oh shit, sorry, my team's trying to use my Zoom and it popped me up. I think you just have to not be afraid to use your resources. Like, I don't call Danny and bitch all the time. I don't call Q and bitch all the time and whine and complain. But like when I'm really like, okay, they've been down this road before and I need some directions, I will absolutely call and have a solution focused conversation with my side sisters. I think it's very important. What daily tasks do you feel every promoter should be doing to grow their business over the next 6 months? Like, I know some of y'all may cringe, okay? So I'm Britt, Danny, I'm just warning you. Y'all, I even hate to admit this, but I don't have daily IPAs. Okay? I don't. I feel like that would be like at this point in my career having a daily checklist of, did I brush my teeth? Did I wipe? Like, you're going to thrive. You're going to get up. You're going to share what you're taking. You're going to talk to people. You're going to put it on your social media, and you're going to be excited about it. And you're going to put that on repeat every single day. Like, that's it. You know, one person may pop off with reels. One person may pop off with going live every day. One person may pop off belly to belly. That will never be me, because I would be laid over on the ground because I have such bad social anxiety. But you just don't know. You have to work within your strengths. TikTok, okay, y'all? I still can't figure out TikTok. Laura is on here on my team. She's so good at TikTok. Work within your strengths and go balls to the wall the next 6 months. Work within your strengths and go balls to the wall. And understand, when I did start, this is something I did and I want to explain it to you. I didn't mind going live. So that was one of my strengths. Y'all, I was busted. The girl that did my lashes, I don't even know that she was certified. They were like having sword fights. They were so horrible. My hair was like 17 different colors of brown. I had not lost a lot of weight. Like, I was a mess. And I just went live and I was excited, and I put my face on social media and I was excited. And so when I say work in your strengths, like, find something that you love to do and go do it times a million. I didn't care if people got tired of seeing my face, right? You're not going to overpost to the right person. So the task that you need to be doing, ask yourself, what do you love to do? How do you love to share thrive? I if you love locals, cool. I'm not ever going to be doing locals. And I don't mean that it's not because they don't work, right? That's not it. It's not my strength. It's not how I got where I am. I'm not opposed to growing, but I feel like oftentimes people want to focus on, I need to learn TikTok. I need to learn to write a blog. I need to learn to do this skill set. I need to learn to do an email list. And then you're all over the fucking place and you're not successful at any of it. I always call it riding multiple horses with one ass. You cannot do it. Okay? You can't do it. Give you an example. I became successful and thought I'd start a spray tanning business. That was really fun and lasted a week. Why? Because I made $30 for every person I sprayed. And that took me doing it. I was like, no. Why was I doing that? Because I wanted to meet more people. Naked, leaving streaks all over him with spray tanning that I didn't even know what I was doing? Absolutely not. It was the biggest disaster ever. That literally lasted for like a week. And then I had a spray tanning machine and would make my husband spray tan me before trips. But it, like, don't get distracted. And I will tell you, if you're distracted and you're on my team, I'm so sorry if y'all don't cuss on your team. I cuss a lot. If you're distracted, I will not fuck with you. I don't have time. I don't have time if you're looking left, right. I don't have time. I'm not going to be mean to you. I'm not going to be rude to you. I'm not building with you. I am not placing with you. I'm side-eyeing you. Why? Because, hi, hello, you have women and men sitting right in front of you who have made a lot of money that are dying to teach you how. I don't have time. Like, I told a girl the other day, I was like, you're talking about email marketing and you made $10. I'm trying to teach you to make a lot more than that. That's going to pay you when you're in Europe for 18 days with your family. You come home and you're sick for a week and you've made over $60,000 this month. That's what I'm trying to teach people to do, not be all over the place. Find your strengths and go balls to the wall in your strength until you bust through success, period. It will happen. But I guarantee you, if it hasn't, it is because you have been in your own way. You have been in your own head. You have been looking left. You have been looking right. You have been entertaining this. You've been entertaining that, and you're not focused. Do you know that I went 200K and I had never even tried or sold anything other than our 3 steps? That's how focused I was. I only sold our 3 steps until I went 200K. And then I started selling a lot of balance. That's another story. But I literally hadn't tried nothing else. Actually, I tried Form because it came free as a sample. That was it. I was so laser focused. Paul said, if you can learn, Court, to just sell these 3 steps, you can become a millionaire. And I was like, okay. I trusted him, so I put my head down. I didn't entertain anything else. I that's just like something that I cannot put enough emphasis on. If you were looking left and right, you're taking your eyes off of your mission. And my eyes have never, well, they did the one time I did the spray tan. Okay, that was a week thing. How many days should be in a sample pack for an individual? You're overthinking it. Who's your potential? You're overthinking it. Who's your potential? You want to know what I gave my best friend? I gave her 1 day. 1 day. I said, you get 1 day. Call me tomorrow. She's like, you're only going to give me 1 day? Alexis Polak, she's one of my 80Ks. She'll tell you. Why? Because she was negative and I knew she was already talking shit about our protein shake and I didn't want to deal with her. I was like, you get one day. And then I figured she wouldn't call me. She called me for another sample. She called me for another sample. And now she's one of my 80Ks. There is no perfect answer. Oh shit, she's on here. You need to know your potentials. Who are you working with? Why are they sampling? Are they like, you've got to know your potential. Don't overthink it. Some people, I will tell you, they get a month from me. If they'd be doing $200,000 in sales at another company, they may get a free month from me. Like, you've got to know your potential and who you're working with and who you're talking to. Okay. And you've got to use your gut and your street smarts to figure that part out based upon who they are and what they want out of this. Maybe they just want to try Thrive. Okay, cool. Give them a 3-day sample, but you've got to use your gut to figure those kind of things out. When I enroll a new promoter, what process or steps are followed to duplicate within my team? I have a team page. It has guides, and it pretty much teaches people how to enroll a customer, how to enroll a promoter, and how to go VIP, hit your VIPs. I say, I'm very honest. You can blow my phone up. I will not blow your phone up. I do not babysit. This is a business. You will always know where to find me. If you enroll and I never hear from you again, you will never hear from me again. I'm not being rude, but I am not going to milk somebody for their 2 customers for that volume. Why? Because I am out there wanting to partner with the person that walks into Louis Vuitton and doesn't have a fucking budget. Like, that's the energy I'm on. I am not like, Susie, your VIPs are up almost. Like, what are you doing? They don't care. They don't have the vision, and they are the only ones that can catch it. You have to make sure that you give them the resources and the tools, but they've got to get in their toolbox and pick it up and do something with it. This is a business. I am a business owner, and I'm going to treat it just like that. If you blow my phone up 20 times a day, unless you're Laura, I'm just kidding, Laura. I not be answering her sometimes, so I have to kind of give that disclaimer. But like, if you're asking me questions, you're gonna get a response. But nobody had to blow my phone up and be like, are you going to post today? You haven't posted in a while. I would never, are you on this meeting? No, that is micromanaging. And guess what? I am a business owner, and I want to work with people that are business owners, not employee mindset people, not people that need to be like babied. Like, and it's not that I don't care about them or like screw them. It's that, like, I know where I'm going, and I need self-starters to be able to carry the weight of the success that I'm after. That's what I'm after. I'm not after I'm just not after people that slow me down. You can catch me. I don't run that fast. You can catch me, but I will not sit down with you while you talk about why I've tried everything and it's not working, and you've shared about some dog shelter the last 20 days on your Facebook. Like, we are not the same. I do not understand that. I do not get that. Okay. I am so focused on where I'm going. You will always be able to catch me, and you will always know how to find me. But beyond that, it is not up to me to duplicate a person. It is up to me to provide the resources so that they can duplicate my success if they choose to. But they've got to choose to, and they've got to want to, because everything's there for them. I'm consistently a top enroller. What do I do to continually build and add strangers to my warm market? Okay, so I'm gonna explain this to you. Some people be out there trying to do other things to make money. Okay, I'm out there trying to grow my network to make money off Thrive. Okay, so I'm out there going, I'm spending my time in sober groups, adding people and making friends. I'm spending my time on like my podcasts that I'm about to be doing again, growing my network. And then I'm taking that network and I'm going to monetize off of that. Okay. So a lot of people get very confused, and they start getting all over the place whenever they want to make more money. Whenever you're talking about growing your skill set or your network, or what I'm a perfect example. I was trying to grow my network by doing spray tans. Okay. No, what you need to do is figure out who you are, and get very personable in that space. And that space will monetize into your Thrive business. I promise you, it will. I promise you, once you figure out who you are, once I figured out that I was getting sober, so many people that join me now, most people are sober. And a lot of my team is too. You don't have to be sober to be my friend or to be on my team, but that's who I attract because I've gone and I've invested in those relationships. And those relationships turn into business partnerships. And those pay me so much more than any of the other things out there that I could get lost in trying to grow my network. I see people go, well, I'm going to go focus on this because I want to grow my network. And I'm like, take it from me. Master one thing. Go and network and then figure out how to monetize off of your new network by introducing them to Thrive. Here's the thing. I also meet a lot of people in my sober groups that don't become Thrivers. That's okay. It's not about the sale, it's about the relationship. So I'm in these groups, I'm talking to them because you never know. One of them may just share my podcast, right? Okay, cool. Now it's exposure. The name of the game is exposure. And how are you going to get in front of more people? You've got to figure out who you are. I will tell you another thing that I did that really, really grew my team was I did a reel every day for 90 days, and it was a sober reel. I had nothing to do with Thrive. I was still talking about Thrive, still posting about Thrive. Why? Because I needed to grow my network. You're doing one of two things. You're either enrolling your network or you're growing your network. That's it. You're either enrolling your network or growing your network. That you should ask yourself every day with your action steps that you are taking, am I growing my network or am I enrolling someone from my network? Because if you're just lost in the sauce, scrolling, doing God knows what, it's not going to pay off. So I got really focused. I did 90 days worth of reels. Why? Because I needed to grow my network. So I got very intentional, did, one subject, and that exploded. I had one reel go viral, which was so stupid. And that exploded my Instagram game. And that still is paying off to this day. So figure out who you are, go and immerse yourself in a community somewhere, whether it's a Facebook group, whatever, go make reels that are tied just to that, and you will watch your following explode. I'm not trying to fit in. I'm not trying to look perfect on my social media. I mean, today's one of the first days I've dried my hair. I told Britt in like a really long time. I've been going through it with like my mom being sick and stuff like that. But what did I do? I immediately went outside and started making reels because I already know where my niche is. I already know where I can grow whenever I put my focus and my attention right on that. I know that I could tell you all of these tips and tricks. But I'm going to tell you right now, your mentality will make you $1 million. Your mentality, not your mindset, not your positive mindset, your fucking steak in the mouth, dog foaming at the mouth, like, I deserve this, I need this, I want this. And here's another thing I won't apologize for. I won't apologize for being someone who hustles, because I have also learned to rest. I have also learned to be present. I will never say, well, I'm anti-hustle now. I will tell you my hustle looks different. It looks way more focused. It looks way more intentional. But if you want to go where I've been, you're going to have to put a little hustle behind your prayer. You're going to have to put some hustle and some intention behind your actions. Nobody ever just wakes up 200K. It's like, oh, the tooth fairy came last night, I'm 200K. No, like I always say, you're going to slide in head first, be bloody, scratched up, and maybe you don't want to be 200K. Maybe you just want to pay your car off. Maybe you just, but I also would beg to say that you probably only have that goal because you're scared of what 200K looks like. That's just my 2 cents, because I don't know anyone that doesn't want more money. It's just my 2 cents. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm happy with just grocery money. And I'm like, yeah, so was I, because I was afraid of what $20,000 a week looks like. Like, what do you do then? I was terrified because I didn't have a good money mindset. Now, I don't want to teach people to make grocery money. I want to teach you to make like cartel money. Sorry if that offends you. That's what I say. Like, drive for some money. Like, I want to wonder if the FBI is going to show up at my house at 12:01 Central Standard Time on Tuesdays, because I'm like, I even called Cliff and I'm like, you did overrides? I'm like, are you sure y'all are rolling those out permanently? Because you know I'm about to F that up. And like, I know. I mean, I have 29 right now from all of the last two runs.
Insane.
I'm committed to helping other people, and I will never stop. I will never. There is only one time in my journey here of 6 years that I didn't post, and it was when my grandfather died, and I was physically with him when he died and responsible for his funeral arrangements and all of that. And that's it. Like, I am all in. I can't help but be all in, because I know what this has done for me, and I know what life I came from, and I'm running from it every single day. I don't know if y'all have any more questions, but I would love to answer them if you do.
Dude, this has been amazing. If you guys have questions, instead of taking yourself off mute, if you just want to drop them in the chat. I think I saw a few.
Do you plan your content out? I absolutely do not. No, absolutely not. That to me is like, but I'm not a type A person. So like, I'm not trying to be making a schedule for my weekly meals either. That's just not me. If that works for you, cool. For me, I am a very obsessive. I mean, obviously I'm an addict, right? I have a very addictive personality. I'm going to be waking up at 3 a.m., not being able to go back to sleep, looking at my memory, seeing if there's a good post I can recycle. Like, it, to me, it's just such an obsession that I know every day I'm sharing something on my heart and on my mind. It's just a non-negotiable for me. So I don't know. That's okay. What if you enrolled someone you thought would be a new top leader, top enroller? You're still placing them, right? My top 4 people are bosses.
I think she's saying, like, if you enroll someone, like, if someone comes in your business, let's say that they are, presidential diamond from It Works, and they have a massive network, and like, are you still going to place them within your core 4?
Yes. High and tight. Top line them.
Okay.
Yes. I had at one point 1, 2, 3, 200K stacked, which was really fucking stupid, but whatever. It was what it was. But yeah.
Tommy raised his hand.
Yes, Tommy. I already sent you to the principal's office.
What was that for? Why I get the rolled eyes?
Because you're like my dad.
For someone who's been in the business for a while, everybody gets into that I hate to say slow funk, but everybody gets into that, period to where they feel like nothing's working. What steps would you advise them to take to get out of that?
Okay, so like, I want you to, I'm trying to keep this PG.
We don't roll that. We don't roll.
Okay, so imagine you have
sex. Cover your ears.
Okay, sex. It can either be really boring or really passionate, but the job's getting done either way. Check your emotion behind what you're doing, because there is a difference in saying like, I love you, and like, I love you, have a good day. It's totally different. So you may be going through the motions. Whoop-de-doo-dah. Your passion, you've lost your passion. You've got to go back to, why are you doing this? Where's your before and after? Go detox yourself, right? Go do a detox. Go and get your passion back, because you may be doing all the things and you may sound like a robot, and you may be giving off this, I don't even believe in myself energy. And I promise you, like, I have seen it over and over and over. It's not the action, it's the mentality. It is the mentality and the emotion behind what you are doing. I have yet to enroll anyone. I've been doing this since the end of June. Any tips, anything helps. Abby, I don't know you. I would ask you, how many times a day are you posting on your social media? What value are you serving up to your following every single day? What's your niche? I would tell you, that what would I tell a new person who had a vision of millionaire mindset but just doesn't know how to start? If you have the vision of a millionaire mindset, you know how to start. That's the thing. Okay, another thing I'll tell you that I'm really good at, and I'll tell you what I think my superpower is. I know who's a leader by the way they behave. Okay? I know who is a leader by the way that the energy they give off, by the things that they do. Someone can talk and say they have a millionaire mindset all day long. You don't have to tell somebody with a millionaire mindset with an undeniable hunger what to do. I'm just being honest. You don't. That's not a self starter. A self starter is going to say, I did this. This is the question that my potential has. They are going to take massive action. It's going to be messy. They may mess something up, but I promise you, someone who truly has that millionaire mindset is not just going to say they do. You're going to know because they're going to show you. So many people waste time with people that just talk a good talk. You've got to
Oh yeah.
walk it. I
So many.
mean, it's undeniable. My leaders, I know who you are because it's undeniable. You're focused, you're present, you're hungry, you're learning, you're in the chair learning. Like, you can't deny a millionaire mindset, and you can't stop it either. Like, I got girls on my team doing shit that I've never even taught them to do because they're self starters. Can I speak about showing value? Like, are you waking up every day just trying to make a sell? Are you waking up every day trying to help someone solve a problem? There's a huge difference in thinking like, I haven't signed anyone and I've been posting about join me, join me, join me, join me, or thinking about like how you can present this for what problem it could solve for somebody. I will say every Wednesday night I have an opportunity live event for my team. Y'all are more than welcome to plug in. It's a Zoom. And that's how I close people. And I close a lot of my team's potentials that way also. What would I tell someone that's afraid of a leadership role? Nothing. You cannot turn somebody into a leader. You can develop a leader. You cannot turn someone into a leader. The worst thing I ever did, Katie Day will tell you, is she came in. I thought she had leadership potential. I placed a $300,000 leg under her. We got her to 80K, and it scared the living shit out of her, and she quit. You cannot turn someone into a leader. You can develop somebody into a leader. And guess what? She's back and she's doing better and making more money than she ever was in that other position because she was ready. She was ready. She's not afraid to learn anymore. But if someone's afraid to lead, leadership's scary anyways, but if you're afraid of a leadership role, I have people begging me, what can I do to help the team? What can I do? I want to lead. Those are the people that I F with. Those are the people that get my time. Because that's the vision I have for myself.
I have a question for you, and unless someone else has one after this, we'll wrap up because I know we've already taken an hour of your time, and I seriously appreciate this so much. It's been a huge help. So I feel like I can relate to you when you say that, like, you're obsessed, right? Like, for me, it's I'm all in. I can't be like half-assed. It's like either I'm unplugged or I'm all in. But when I'm all in, you know, that obviously, and I think a lot of people can say this too, like it takes a toll on your family life, right? Like it's been very hard for me even to present day to balance being a present mother and, you know, a present partner and also being like, you know, full blown business. And don't get me wrong, like I am loving it. Like I want to be all in, but how do you do that? Like, how do you keep your family happy and, you know, serve your family still and still serve, you know, such a large team?
So Sundays, I don't do anything with my team. My phone is on D&D from 9 to 9, and I communicate with my leaders like, hey, I'm going out of town and I will still be working my business, but you know what to do. If not, you need to go to that next person and ask them. And when I was in Europe, it was the best thing ever because I would wake up and nobody else at home was awake until like 2 p.m. And it was great. I had the best trip ever being present with my family. I would say you have to have boundaries, but that means you have to work with intention during those other times. But I've learned that nothing's an emergency. Nothing has to be done tonight. You just have to communicate. Also, I think that's the biggest thing is communicating to my leadership when I'm going through something hard, like with my mom being sick or like when my grandfather died, and being very honest, like, hey, I'm going through a really hard time right now. All I have the capacity to do is worry about my own enrollments. You know what to do. You know what to do, or you know where to go find the answer. I'm not checking out on you, but I have some things right now that are a priority in my life. And I'm always still going to work my business, but I also know what it looks like to work my business where I'm not trying to recruit anyone. I wasn't trying to sign 20 new business partners in Europe. That's why I signed 22 the month before, because I knew I needed to go balls to the wall, get them in, get them plugged in, get their little teams built, get them introduced to each other, get them moving and grooving. And I was like, I'm going to Europe for 18 days. I don't know that I'll be accessible. Or I have a wedding, or it's my daughter's birthday. I will be unplugged. You have to pick and choose and still take care of your growing business, but it's not your responsibility to be, Google or the resource for your team whenever you have those other things pop up. And just communication and respect.
Awesome. Yeah, the working with intention, I think, is huge, because I think it's so easy in the business that we're in too, just to get stuck in that, the Facebook scroll, and then you feel like you're being productive and you just have to, snap yourself out of it and get back to work. So does anybody else have anything? I'm gonna take one more, and then I'm gonna let Kourtney wrap up. So she said, being so passionate about the product leads to excitement when you're talking about it, but sometimes people mislabel passion for an enthusiastic sales pitch. How do you handle that situation to make sure people know you're being genuine and not just pushing a sale?
Well, I can't control how anyone else views me. All I can control is that I get up and I show up and I'm excited. I really don't give a shit if someone thinks I'm doing a sales pitch, because that person's probably going to think that anyways. They're probably not on the internet searching for something to help their hormones or their hair grow if they're that negative. I share my life as well. And so I'm building trust with people. With trust comes relationships. And then whenever that person thinks of, oh, I have this need, they're going to think of me. The person that's out there mislabeling, blah, blah, I don't give a shit. I don't even think about that kind of stuff. Like, if someone thinks I'm pushing a sale, okay, I don't care. I am going to be me. I am going to show up, and I am going to be so freaking excited that I've started using Expand every morning and I feel amazing, and that our hormone stuff like gave me my sex drive back. I'm going to talk about that. I'm excited about that. And if someone thinks I'm being salesy, then like, I don't care.
I love that. I love that. I love you, dude. You're like a fucking badass. You're just a fucking badass, and I love it. So thank you so much. I'm going to let you wrap up, because I know you have family and you have a team. And are you going to Vegas?
No, it's going to be the first thing I ever miss. Danny, I'm not going to Vegas. She's going to be like, what? It is the first thing I'm ever missing. One of my friends is getting married, and honestly, I'm an addict, and my husband is also an addict to gambling, and it's not a good place for us. And when I fly into Vegas, I don't enjoy Vegas. I love that people do and that they can go and love it and enjoy it. But no, one of my dear friends is getting married, and that's been on the books way before this. So this will be the first. Laura, where have you been? I told this on 2 leadership meetings. Jesus. This is what I do with my baby kid. But no, I will not be there, and I'm okay with that. I'm glad it's Vegas. If it was something else, I might not have a friend anymore out of that person. But no, it's going to be hard. A lot of my team is going to be there, and my whole team, well, I guess y'all know now if you're on here, because I still wanted to earn it on both of my accounts, and I think it's so important to lead from the front, but I will not be there. What about Usher? You're going to see Usher?
Did you guys get tickets? I thought they were like $2,000.
No, I'm going to get them when I get there. I have a hack. I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, well, I'm coming with you.
I don't want everybody trying to take my ticket.
Tommy, do you know what's legal in Vegas?
I sure do.
He said he doesn't care if Usher Keke Palmer's me, so.
That's right.
Oh my God. Well, I'm going with you guys, so you need a third ticket. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let you guys go. I know. Thank you all for sticking around. This has been fucking awesome. This has been a great call. I recorded it, so if you guys have team that couldn't hop on, I will share it. Kourtney, seriously, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you again, even if it's not in Vegas. I'll see you soon.
Thanks for inviting me. Bye, guys.
Bye.